Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. We're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities and ETFs that this guy follows. And I'm going to interject my financial opinions all across the board. Again, if you need any help with anything, check out the website, finding-value.com. Use the discount coupon code, discount in the coupon code. Get yourself a big discount on the monthly and even a bigger one on the yearly. So we're going to dive in here and see what's going on today. So let's take a look. Starting with the dollar. Remember I talked about the dollar. If we get this dollar to move lower, what did I say was going to happen? We're going to see tailwinds behind asset prices because more than likely yields could be dipping. We're probably going to see gold take off, and we could see some other assets also get a tailwind. Now, gold's not exactly diving lower here, or the dollar, I mean. The dollar's not exactly diving lower. We just went sideways to slightly lower today. But, the 2-year, what's going on here, guys? Diving lower. I mean, that's a big move. 3% lower on the short end of the curve. Now, this is a rising wedge that is breaking to the downside. Big deal. I think gold, I think silver, they're going to go higher. Platinum, those metals. Now, we talked about this during the question and answer session yesterday about our strategies and some of the companies that may look good if this were to fall. So keep those strategies in mind, guys. The gold and silver, physical and all that stuff. So keep that in mind. This yield curve could uninvert. What does that mean? The yield curve uninverting could signal a slowdown in the market, and gold is going to be a benefactor of that. We've got the longer end of the curve still went up to some degree. So we've got the short end coming down some on the 2-year. We've got the long end of the curve still sticking it to that short end. It's staying high. So we got the 10-year up about 0.3 and the 30-year up 0.5. It's still hanging in there. So we're seeing weakness on short-term bonds, strength in the longer end. It's called the bear steepener. Still in play. TYX TNX ratio slightly higher, and this does look like we could head higher. We could head up here. If that heads higher, what does that mean? It means the yield curve's uninverting to some degree. That is generally where something could happen in the market, and gold generally benefits from that. TLT bond prices looking like it's trying to put in some strength here, like it's trying to put in a bottom or something going on here. So let's watch that, because if this were to move on up, we could see gold really move. So we look at the gold price. Gold price rocket launching higher, $31. Pretty good day for gold. Is this going to continue? Is this a slingshot where we false breakdown, slingshot it to the upside? I don't know. I don't want to call it yet, but I'm kind of positioned for it. I'm just going to say that. I'm kind of positioned for it, and we'll see if this thing slingshots to the upside or not. We got to break through, 1940-ish level to break out of this. So we got a ways to go. Silver up 1.4%. Not too bad. I wouldn't say this is, we don't have momentum or anything yet, but hopefully we can generate that momentum, start moving on up if yields were to fall. And platinum, this little pull down here, I do like it down there. I like it right where it's at, guys. And we'll see if the momentum can continue in platinum. Palladium, I'm not so big into palladium. I know someone wanted me to follow this. I think we are still going to go lower all the way down to down here, or maybe even pull back like that. I mean, that's where I think palladium's going to go. I'm bearish on palladium. Palladium generally does well during the recovery phase of real estate, which is that whole phase from here to here, which is perfect. We need a palladium in our life, because if you're swapping metals back and forth, you need to go into this during a certain market condition. It's just not in that market condition, and I'm not in the camp that thinks this is going to go higher. XAU to gold ratio, the gold and silver mining companies did outperform gold itself, and gold had a pretty good day today, so that is a good thing. But again, we've got a long way to work ahead of us to break out through that downtrend line. The good thing is this is dirt cheap, guys. And you know what? This should be on your radar. Definitely get XAU and gold and silver mining companies on your radar today. If you don't know what companies you need to have on your radar, I can help you out. True, but get your favorites up, start looking at them. Look for an entry point potentially if this starts to work its way on up. The CRB index moving on higher. We saw big moves in oil today, so no surprise there. And then we've got the CRB to S&P 500 just holding steady against each other today. GDX up 2.42%, moving on up. Let's see if that momentum can continue. GDXJ, same thing, and SILJ, it's the same setup. Now we need to clear this $9-ish area here. We need to clear through that, and we may, get a little bounce there or something. That's our resistance that we need to clear for SILJ, $9. Crude oil ripping it up today. It did bounce off that support level I drew in there. There's that support level I drew in. We did bounce off that support level Friday. There it is, Friday. Little bounce, and we'll see if this thing sticks. We'll see if we come back, fill the gap. I don't know the path necessarily, but I do think we're going to go higher over time. TTF just ripping it today, up 12.5%. We could see a big move here in TTF gas. Let me try to get it positioned right. We've got some resistance running through here. We used it as support back here. We've hit it multiple times all through here. And if we break away from here, I think we could get a pretty big move out of TTF nat gas. So again, we could close this gap again before heading higher, but it's looking interesting. And then natural gas, Henry Hub, we got a little bit of a wick at the top. It looks like we could pull back, and we'll see what that pullback looks like. My guess, we'll get a couple of small little down days before heading higher again, or some sort of small pullback that looks like that. That's my guess. XOP, yeah, you know me, hitting it up today. We've got gaps all over the place everywhere. What I'm going to say here is we are right underneath that neckline. The neckline where if we can break out of this thing, it is going to be glorious for our portfolios, people. Glorious, but we're not broken through it yet. We've hit our head, hit some resistance, came back, and we'll see what this looks like. You like my little inverted head and shoulder thingy going on? OIH also moving on up today, up 4.5% or so. Again, it's well positioned for the long term, where we could see a big move in energy service companies. Oil and gas companies are cheap. They're cheap compared to cash flow. They're cheap compared to other sectors. Energy service is even cheaper. So as this money filters through oil, the price of oil goes up. The money's going to filter through the oil and gas sectors, and even the energy, eventually to energy service sectors as well. And this is going to be a big move, in my opinion. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust holding in there today, up 0.92%. Not a super convincing day. We got a little bit of a wick at the top. Again, I'm going to hold my judgment here. I'm in this for the longer term. We'll see where this goes. Sometimes you get a fall and then it goes like that, like an ABC correction, which very well could be the case. Come back to that support level. That could be in the cards. So don't be afraid if it were to pull back a little bit more. URA is getting a little bit of selling pressure, but we've got a big wick on the bottom. So people are buying it up. It's not just, free Willy sell-off. Willy got saved to some degree, and it's bouncing back where the momentum is coming back throughout the day. So we got a wick here. We got a wick here. There are buyers down there. The one thing I don't do is I don't play with fire, and I consider fire to be volatility. What I don't do is I don't try to time short-term market movements with high volatility. You're playing with fire. So what I do is I just sit in it. I sit in it, wait, 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 and then it's just going to rip at some point. And this very well could come back or do whatever it's going to do. But overall, guys, momentum's upward. We do have a little bit of a pullback here. And as we go, these pullbacks may not be as large as what some people think. This isn't a big consolidation like this over here. I think this is a small consolidation in a larger upward move. So I think it's game time. That's what I'm going to say. URNM also getting that little wick at the bottom, and URNJ also getting a little wick. Is some people are going to say, no, this is a definitely a shoulder head shoulder. It could be, but I mean, we've got a wick at the bottom here. It's getting bought up. It's getting bought up. We'll see. I'm going to say we'll see, but I mean, the wick, the size of this is the size of this guy there, so maybe it goes down like that to $19. Not a huge down move if even if it were to come back. It's not a big head and shoulders or anything like that. Tan looking like it's trying to turn around here, but it's at support about 47 bucks. COPX up a little bit, still within the channel, guys. There's that channel I drew in there, and it is just chilling in the channel. Lithium down a little bit, and there we are kind of breaking down. Is this a false breakout where we get a slingshot cheetah pattern? Well, we've got a bullish piercing here. We'll see what tomorrow brings in store and see if that thing moves to the upside. REMX has got the same type of pattern. Is this a false breakdown where we start to rip it? What happens is these guys consolidate in some sort of pattern, then they have a washout, and then it rips. Is that the washout here? Could be. We'll have to wait and see what the buying pressure looks like over the next few days. It does look positive for the S&P. This does look strong. It's bullish engulfing there. And we had a pretty strong day today. Same with the NASDAQ. Got a couple of bullish engulfings in here. And it looks like we could try to move on up. KRE, the banking sector, just kind of moving sideways. Regional banks. I'm not as bearish on the banks as what most people. I mean, this looks bullish to me. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a Livermore accumulation cylinder that generally launches to the upside. I don't know what's going to cause the launch. Maybe they lower interest rates, do QE, print more money. I don't know. I don't know what would cause it, but we'll find out. Emerging markets, dollars sideways. We did have short-term yields go down. Long-term was up. We were sideways basically today for emerging markets. XHB up 1%. This to me looks like it's just following the overall S&P and NASDAQ. So we'll see if this goes up. It looks like this is a bullish engulfing here. So it does look like we could go higher. MOO also looking like the overall markets, and it looks like we could go higher with MOO, which is the agribusiness ETF. There is a possibility, though, that we could get back to 70 bucks and give you a very good entry point. Copper. Now, copper, we pulled on back here, and we're starting to get some buying pressure. Is this going to work its way back up, or are we going to roll back over? I don't know. We're going to find out here over the next week or two. Iron ore, down a little bit, but I am still positive on iron ore because we're sitting on top of the breakout of this falling wedge. Breakout, we're going to do a retest somewhere, and boom, we'll head off to the motherland. Nickel moving sideways or flat. This is a double top, and we have not bottomed yet, so I'm not getting in front of it. Aluminum up a little bit. Just looking like we could potentially turn, and we'll see if we turn here. I do think this is going to go higher because we've broken out of all this. We do have a lot of trading all through this zone in here. So it's kind of sticky in that area with a lot of buyers and sellers. Baltic Dry Index, it's still ripping it, and it will rip it even further. I like that fractal back here, don't you? This is the previous bull market's fractal that I was showing people and how it overlays with it and the potential upward move that Baltic Dry Index could potentially do. Newcastle coal up 3% today. It looks like energy is uber strong. I think we could go higher in coal. I think this is a good spot to be looking at potential coal companies in this basing area. Bitcoin down a little bit. Uh, Man, this looks really weird. Look at all these small little consolidated days. And Ethereum also getting a little bit of selling pressure, 3.2% down. Where is this going to go here, guys? Where is it going to go? Lots of sideways action. Now, if I back out, let's take a quick look. God, this is ugly. This section over here is just ugly. So usually what you see, if you see something strong, you see it looks like this. And we can go back real quick and I'll show you. This is a double bottom. Here, let me go to the weekly. This is a double bottom here. You basically get two bottom pieces. And guys, some of the companies we have has that little kind of action there, but we get like this double bottom deal and then we break it. You get like a consolidation zone there. And this is where a lot of the commodity companies are at right now. They're right at this location here. Like dry bulk, some of the copper companies and rare earth metals. Rare earth metals just is tilted down like down here, it's tilted more. So a lot of the companies are on the right hand side. I'm sure Powell and all those guys are crapping themselves because they need to. They're going to try to stop this big move coming. But most commodities are over here, and they're going to do that. Most of them. The big move is coming. Uranium is right here, and it's coming on up. Some of them are up here, depending on what companies you're in. But it's right in that general location, and the big move is ahead of us. So that's where we're located. Now, this thing, notice that the way that this is located, it's kind of looped this way, and then you get like a consolidation out. Is this the consolidation there? Could be. It could be. So is this pattern the same that thing that we're going to move up like that? It could be, guys. It very well could be. And I know some people are saying it could crash. That could be the case, but the fractal looks very similar to that. So I would say that the possibility could be to the upside, depending on if we can get some positive momentum to develop in Ethereum and Bitcoin. But that's what I've got for today, guys. Thumb up for the content, subscribe to the channel, website. That is, I mean, everything looks pretty good. Not much has really changed. We're up against some resistance in oil, nat gas. You know, TTF looks like something to watch. You can see a big move out of that at some point. Coal's hanging in there. Baltic Dry Index looks awfully strong. Iron ore's going to do a little retest and then it's going to rip. So we've got our iron ore and steel companies and all that stuff in our back pocket. If you're a member, you should be watching those. Be watching. Watch what I do with my money too. You'll see me start to accumulate on some of these. So watch to see what I do if you're interested in that. We did hit the natural gas bottom. Way to go. And that's all I got, guys. That's all I got today. So next week, we've got the Saturday 7 a.m. question and answer session coming up. And love to see you there. And we'll talk about all these individual companies, guys. All right, we'll catch you later. This is Finding Value.